Lobbying. Dog just wanted an apple. Not fancy apple. Not organic, gluten-free, fair trade apple. Just normal apple. Red. Crunchy. Tastes like not being broke. But when Dog walked to the orchard with 10 leaves, vendor looked him dead in the snout and said, "That's not enough." Dog blinked. "But yesterday, same apple was 8 leaves." Vendor shrugged. "Now 10. Tomorrow, maybe 12. Maybe infinity. Depends if Poodle visits." Right then, a poodle in a tiny suit walked by. Polished fur. Little briefcase. Whispered something into the orchard owner's ear. Suddenly, boom! Poodle walks out with 3 apples, a smile, and a taxpayer-funded grant for agricultural innovation. Dog stood there. No apples. Fewer leaves. Very confused. Dog tried protesting. Made a cardboard sign. "Please lower apple prices." Barked outside the orchard. Posted stories. Started a hashtag. Justice for apples. But orchard owner came out and said, "Don't worry, we already hired 7 Labradors in suits to raise prices for your protection." Dog's eye twitched. "My protection?" he muttered, holding his empty leaf wallet. This wasn't just inflation. This wasn't supply and demand. This was something worse. Something with paperwork and neckties and phrases like strategic alignment. Dog remembered seeing it once in a documentary, right between a senator shaking paws and a steak dinner with dessert. It was called lobbying. See, most young dogs think apple prices just happen. They think if there's sugar in everything, it's because that's what people like. But no. Dog read article. Got scared. Sugar in everything because someone paid to make it so. Someone with a lobby. And not the hotel kind. Dog always thought democracy meant barking mattered. You vote. You pay leaves. You get stuff. But turns out, barking only matters if you bark with a suitcase. Full of leaves. Preferably unmarked. Dog sat down. Stared at his one remaining leaf. Whispered, "Am I the problem? Or is the system just built for poodles in ties?" Voiceover kicks in. Dog was about to find out how the dog lobby really buys the orchard. Dog used to think laws came from smart dogs in a big room talking about fairness. Turns out, laws come from Dalmatians in tiny suits, delivering muffins to Congress and saying, "Apple taxes hurt our paws. Please fix." Congress listens. Dalmatians smile. Muffins disappear. Law changes. Dog blinks. Apple now costs 12 leaves. Dog wasn't invited to the muffin meeting. Lobbying is not bribery. Bribery is illegal. Lobbying is just legal bribery with better catering. It's when rich dog companies send well-trained spaniels to educate politicians on why raising paw wipes tax is catastrophic for the paw wipe economy. They bring charts made by other dogs they also paid. Then they smile and say, "This is for the good of all canines." Dog not sure how, but somehow that ends with free belly rub subsidies for luxury pet spas. Meanwhile, you and Dog are arguing online about how to cancel student loan debt, shouting in the void, getting ratioed. But in a nearby marble office, a Shih Tzu with perfect hair is negotiating tax breaks for chew toy corporations. While Dog reposts memes, Fluffy Pack is closing a deal for a 0.001% bark tax rebate. Dog still pays full price for flea shampoo. Why is insulin so expensive? Pharma dog lobby. Why does student debt grow like mold? For-profit college dog lobby. Why does crypto get treated like a miracle and a crime at the same time? Silicon Valley Doge lobby. Dog got charged 15 leaves for basic vet checkup. Poodle went to luxury spa groomer. Government covered it. Said it was essential grooming care. Dog chewed couch out of frustration. Dog wants to believe in justice. But every time he looks, the loudest barks come from dogs holding microphones made of leaf stacks. Politicians don't hate Dog. They just can't hear him. Not over the sound of golden collars jingling and donors politely barking in PowerPoint. And then there's the silence. The part that breaks Dog's little heart. Young dogs start believing barking doesn't matter. So they stop. They think, why vote? Why speak? System already rigged. It's not laziness, it's exhaustion. It's learned helplessness in a system where barking without cash feels like howling into the void. Dog meme. This meeting could have been a bark, but it wasn't. Because dog wasn't invited. In Dogland, ideas matter, but incentives matter more. Politicians wag tails for whoever has the most consistent bark and the fattest biscuit. Not because they're evil, just because they're trained that way. If dog had 30,000 leaves and a lobbyist with shiny fur, maybe oat milk would be a basic right by now. Dog stares at the orchard, realizes it's not about the apple. It's about who gets to suggest the price before the apple even grows. One night, dog couldn't sleep. Not because of fleas, because of rage. Rage at the orchard, rage at the poodle, rage at his bank account. So dog did what any broke, determined golden retriever would do. He formed a pack, a Paws Action Committee, Bark Pack. Their mission, affordable apples for all. First, dog gathered the other broke dogs. The beagle, who works 3 shifts and still can't afford grapes. The husky, who took out a loan for dog training school. Even the corgi, who still lives with his parents but has plans. They all agreed. Something had to change. They held a meeting in the park, brought snacks. One chihuahua kept interrupting. Classic. They started fundraising. Had to get creative. Bake sales. Barkathons. Limited edition NFTs of historic barks. The Great Growl of 2020. Dog wore a little bow tie and hosted a fundraising live stream. Donate 5 leaves and get a thank you sniff. Raise 2,000 leaves. And 1 half-eaten tennis ball. It was a start. Finally, BarkPack got a meeting with the orchard owner. The real one. The one who smells like mahogany and offshore accounts. Dog showed up with a pie chart made of actual pie. Poodle Lobby was already there, with data and gifts. Dog only had hope, and maybe mild anxiety. The orchard owner raised an eyebrow. What do you want? Dog cleared throat. Affordable apples, for all dogs, not just ones with gold collars. The owner laughed. That's cute. Dog didn't back down. We have leaf support, and memes, and a very convincing infographic made with crayons. A long pause. Then the orchard owner leaned in. Fine, I'll listen, but only if you bring educational treats. So BarkPack made a deal. Not perfect, but better. Apples still expensive, but not impossible. New policy. Every pup gets 1 discount apple per week, unless they bark at customer service. Then they get 2. Dog didn't change the whole system, but he started barking in their language, learned how the orchard worked, and taught other dogs too. Democracy, it turns out, is like a dog park. Everyone can bark, but the dogs with gold collars fetch first. Unless the other dogs show up, loud, together, with very determined barks. Dog sits under a tree, eats an apple. It's smaller than expected, but it's his. Bought with his own leaves. And about 73 emails. He smiles. Not because the world is fixed, but because he finally understands why the apples were so damn expensive in the first place. This is not financial advice. This is just a retriever who barked loud enough to be heard. Almost. The fetch isn't free, but the bark might be. Dog didn't fix the system, didn't defeat the poodle, still can't afford oat milk. But now Dog knows why apples cost 12 leaves and who's whispering behind the orchard gate. It's not about fairness. It's about who barks, how loud, and with how many leaves. And maybe, just maybe, if enough broke dogs bark together, someone listens. Dog's not a hero, just tired, slightly smarter, still broke, but no longer silent. The fetch isn't free, but the bark, that's still public, and Dog's using it. With memes, mild rage, and a dream of one day affording guac without guilt.